We love hydration, we love exfoliation, but them together is perfect.
So my hack that I use on a daily basis is creating my own custom tinted moisturizer using our Superfood Airwick Moisture Cream. So I love this moisture cream because it has a really intense dose of hyaluronic acid. And if you're familiar with hyaluronic acid, it's a water binder. So when you use complexion items such as your foundation or your concealer, you're actually going to incorporate that water binding, which will help to retain the long wear capability of your foundation, or essentially like give your foundation a longer wear. So I'm not using a foundation today though. I promise you this is gonna be quick. I started this as a kind of hack for my own self to speed up my routine. And so I take my favorite concealer. So one about like 1 to 2 shades darker and one to 2 shades lighter. So I like to customize my shade of complexion because I can use it all year round. I go from my lightest to my darkest, probably between 3 or 4 foundation shades, depending on what time of year it is. So this makes it super easy. So right now I know I'm about equal parts in the areas where I want more depth. And then I'm probably about 2 parts of the light to 1 part of the dark when I want more brightness. So I'm gonna work with this in 2 ways, and you can do as you please, add more concealer when you want more coverage, and likewise add less if you want less coverage. So I like probably a good medium coverage. So I'm gonna take a small amount of my Superfood Airwick Moisture Cream and start by blending the light and the dark shade together and adding just a dollop of that, and then blending it with my fingers together. And don't worry, it's not a waste. We're gonna use the lighter shade just a moment. So I'm gonna take just that amount that I added there, and I'm gonna take, remember this is a little bit deeper. So I'm gonna do this in the areas where you typically contour by using this makeup brush and kind of applying it around the perimeter of the face, the hollow of the cheek. And then if I didn't have facial hair, I would do it here as well, and kind of the under my chin. Also the side of the nose. Now I'm gonna take the lighter shade, incorporate a little bit of the lighter shade into there. I always like to use the excess on my makeup sponge, and do center of the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, and under the eye. And voila. That's easy complexion. It's 2 products plus your moisturizer you already have on freshly prepped skin, and it's just gonna simplify your routine and save you a lot of time. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and look forward to doing this again with you.
Today, I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favorite skincare hacks for those of you who have acne-prone skin like I do. Just as a bit of background, my skin is definitely combination oily, and I just struggle from acne, congestion, and texture. I feel like I want something that's very gentle and not gonna strip or dry my skin out, but at the same time, I'm always looking for that amazing clean skin sensation, so I know that there's nothing left behind. On a daily basis, the Youth to the People Superfood Cleanser fits this formula to a T. It is ultra gentle, gel-based, and packed with vitamins and antioxidants to leave my skin feeling healthy, balanced, and again, rid of all impurities that might weigh my skin down or cause congestion. However, if I'm being honest, sometimes I want something that's just a little bit more detoxifying than what this formula is intended to be. For that purpose, I will go ahead and mix in one of my other favorite Youth to People products, which is the Superfood Reset Mask. This guy is an unsung hero from Youth to People. It is a clay-based formula. It's got kaolin clay, which will pull out all the dirt, the gunk, the impurities from your skin, but it's meant to be very different from your traditional clay mask that might dry down to that really harsh cement-like texture or leave your skin feeling super tight. Because it's ultra gentle yet really good for detox, it pairs beautifully with our Superfood Cleanser. Usage is super easy. Just mix 1 pump of the Superfood Cleanser in your hand with a dash of Reset Mask to create your own custom clay cleanser. I like to do this about once or twice a week, or frankly, whenever I feel breakouts coming on, to create a gentle reset that's not gonna leave my skin feeling dry or worse than it was before.
I'm here to share a little tip, a little trick that I have when using the Yerba Mate Resurfacing Energy Facial. So if you have more dehydrated skin like moi, then adding in a couple drops of the Super Berry Hydrate and Glow Oil makes the Yerba Mate a little bit more hydrating, it's more glowy, it's just phenomenal. I have been loving these two together. Take a little dollop of this, a couple drops of that, mix them together in your hands, and then apply on clean, damp skin. Let it set on for 1 to 2 minutes. Well, then you'll gently buff around with some water, and your skin will be left feeling hydrated and glowing, and it's just, it's phenomenal. So go ahead and try this little trick out, and please let us know what you think.
So by far, one of my favorite skincare hacks is actually all of the ways that you can use the Super Berry Hydrate and Glow oil with your makeup. This little guy has amazing treatment benefits. It's going to help, of course, add radiance, glow, and hydration to the skin. But I personally like to use it as a makeup primer before I put on a cream or a stick on. So the best way to use it, you actually just want to take 1 or 2 drops, and you'll immediately see increased radiance in the skin. And you want to do this right before you apply foundation. And you can see the difference between my 2 hands, increased radiance over here, and just kind of flat skin over here. Next, I'll just take a little bit of my foundation stick on my skin, just like so. And as you can see, it just creates like a really beautiful, luminous, silky texture. So that is, of course, like one of my absolute favorite hacks with the Super Berry Hydrate and Glow Dream Oil. Another thing that I love to do with the Super Berry Hydrate and Glow Dream Oil is I'll actually, after I've completed my makeup, and if I want a little bit more radiance and glow on my skin, I'll apply a little bit of the glow oil directly on top of my face highlighter, just to once again add a little bit more luminosity and shine. It's by far one of my favorite tips and tricks, and one of my favorite ways to use this oil.
Today, I'm going to be telling you about my favorite skincare hack, which incorporates the Youth to the People Reset Mask. This mask is amazing on its own, but by combining oil to it or something with more active ingredients to it, you can really customize it to your skin needs. All right, so I have combination skin, but I'm also very breakout prone, so I'm breaking out in a couple areas right now, probably just due to stress, probably due to the pandemic we're living in right now, probably because I'm not getting enough sleep. But Superfood Reset Mask is amazing for just detoxifying your skin and rebalancing your skin. Because I have combination skin, I'm drier in some areas and a little more oily in some areas. So in the areas where I'm more dry, I just mix a few drops of our Super Berry Hydrate and Glow oil with the Reset Mask. And this really helps to detox and balance the skin while hydrating and give a little boost of hydration, which you also can leave the mask on a little bit longer when there's oil on it. And I'm also gonna combine part of it with a sulfur mask. I use this combined with the Reset Mask when I'm breaking out and I wanna target some problem areas. And in the areas where I am a little bit more oily, I just don't add the oil and I use the Reset Mask on its own. You know, breakouts are normal and you can't really sometimes do that much about it. It's just gonna happen, especially for me, I know that. But sticking to a routine and then just mixing it up, making it custom to whatever my skin needs is how I'm kind of just staying centered right now. So I have a little bit of the Reset Mask and some of the Sulfur Mask, and I'm just gonna combine it here. And you can kind of just customize it to however strong you wanna make it. If you wanna make it more active, then use more of your, treatment mask mixed with the detox mask. I'm gonna put it on this guy, go away. All right, there we go. All right, and now that I've gotten most of my problem areas taken care of, my dry spots and my breakouts, I'm just gonna cover the rest of the areas with the Reset Mask. I don't necessarily need the extra help with the glow oil, so I'm just gonna use the Reset Mask as it is. Using the Reset Mask as a base and combining whatever you need is something that I love and I found very helpful. So I hope you enjoyed that 3-in-1 hack. You got a little extra from me. You didn't just get 1 hack, you got 3 hacks. Okay, thank you for watching. Goodbye. I love you.